I thought we would start with just an introduction. I mean, I can start with myself. So my name is Pauline Folks. I'm the principal and owner of Children's Garden. I started the school back in 1986. I'm literally part of the furniture here, I would say, after all these years. My three children that are now 33, 31, and 29, they all came to Children's Garden. So I had the experience of being here as a parent, as well as, you know, being one of the teachers too back in the day. So, so that's who I am. That's who I'll be moderating this discussion today. And so if we could start maybe with Michael, if you want to give us a little bit of brief background as far as who you are and how you came to be with Children's Garden.
Sure. Michael Robertson, and my son Chase Robertson has he just graduated from Children's Garden. He was there for 2 years, and so he's going into I guess he just finished junior kindergarten. So myself, I grew up in Mississauga, and my mom was a nursery school teacher, and sort of for 25 years, and lived in sort of got a behind the scenes look of nursery school life, I guess, throughout my life. And then my wife is from Leaside, and we now currently reside in Leaside. And there's just a lot of familiarities with between, I guess, my experience and with Children's Garden. And I remember when thinking back, I guess, going a couple of years ago before Chase started, and just thinking how warm an environment it was going into Children's Garden, and for 2 years it was a great experience for Chase, and many great things to say.
Great, thanks, Michael. Robin?
Hi, I'm Robin Gervais, and I have 2 boys who have been through Children's Garden. My older son Gavin started when he was in preschool, and he went all the way until senior kindergarten. And then my younger son Miles, again, started in preschool, and he's graduated the kindergarten program as well. I'm also in education, so I sort of had a wonderful feeling about Children's Garden. As soon as I saw it, I knew this was going to be a perfect fit for both my boys, and it has been. They both rave about the school, and I'll say I'm so happy that I found it.
Thanks, Robin. And David?
Good morning, I'm David, and my son Clayton just finished his first year of JK, and he was in the half-day JK program. And we found the school, we were looking for an alternative because of COVID for smaller class sizes. And we were also looking for a school that might have a half-day JK program, because Clayton was, he's born in the later half of the year. He's younger starting. And so we were looking for something that was unique. And after talking to friends of ours, people that we've known for a long time, who have all said really the same things about Children's Garden Nursery, that, warm, very welcoming place, and just so happy to go through there. The feedback was so consistent and so positive that we were confident that it would be a good spot for Clayton. And so that's how we ended up there.
Lovely, thank you. Well, thank you very much, and I'm so happy that you all did. You've got amazing children. So what I'll do is I'll start with the questions, and maybe after the question, each person can, take a shot at answering it. And it's okay if we have repeat answers. That's okay, because I think that just makes it, more consistent as far as what the feelings are. But I think probably, Robin, I'll start with you, because I know there was questions for alumni, and you're kind of alumni with having left the school.
Yes.
So what, to the best of your knowledge, most differentiates our school from others?
I would say the small class sizes is one of the biggest benefits of Children's Garden. The 8-to-1 ratio with the younger kids, and then the 10-to-1 with the older students, really gives them a lot of individual attention. And I think that is a huge benefit of Children's Garden. I also think the fact that it's a small school in general isn't overwhelming for the kids. So they can come in and they sort of feel like they're part of the community, which I feel is really nice for especially the younger kids that are starting the school. I also think the specialty programs really differentiate the school from other schools. Having a drama program, sport ball, music, and art, I think that's wonderful. And both my kids have said that was one of their favorite things about the school. So I think that was excellent. I'd also say the field trips pre-COVID was another thing that you guys did really, really well. I know we did some farm field trips, the symphony. You can probably talk more. I'm not exactly sure all the field trips, but they were wonderful. And I would also say, lastly, the curriculum. Because of the small class sizes, I really found that you guys were able to make it very individual for each student. So one of the kids needed to move ahead. I thought that because of the small class sizes, that they were able to do that and meet each child's individual needs. And yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Robin. Does anybody else feel that that's a question that we could answer based on maybe siblings being at other schools? I mean, we've only got Michael.
Dave,
Dave, that's okay.
I think, Robin, you couldn't have, you covered all the points there in terms of what really stood out to us, and I think just ultimately, like, having that smaller classrooms, class sizes, and giving that small sort of Lee side or more specifically North Lee sort of feel, and so on, like, we're in North Lee, and my older son goes to North Lee, and you definitely do see a difference with my older son. We excuse me, he was at North Lee starting in JK in the class of 25 students, I guess, and you certainly see a difference. And with Chase, and he's born in the latter half of the year as well, we wanted having a smaller class environment was important for us. And so yeah, no, all
right, thank you.
Robin said it best, for sure.
All right, thank you. So if Children's Garden was to be represented as a single person, what would its personality be like? In only 3 words, and why? David, we'll start with you.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would say 3 words: warm, organized, and thoughtful. If that was, if the school was a person. I remember the initial meeting when we came to essentially meet with you and Ms. Val, and it was, socially distanced because of the time, but it was the moment we got out of the car and started talking, there was just this warm and welcoming feeling. And that carried to Clayton every day when he used to go to school, just literally run right in without looking back, much to mom and dad's dismay, but always a positive sign how much he loved going in there. So, certainly warm and welcoming. Organized, I think, is a key one. Emails from you constantly during this year, which, you had to pivot very quickly and often: in class learning, back to school, back to in-class learning. And that is difficult to do. You've been doing this 34 years and never had to do that. But the communication that came through, it was clearly organized. And then lesson plans, as far as, we knew exactly every week what Clayton was up to. Because we were at home and you could see it on Zoom, it was amazing to watch just how organized Miss Val was, Clayton's teacher this year. And just thoughtful things, the way in which themes were presented in the year. I think there was like a pizza day on a Friday where the kids would make pizza, but it's the lead up to the pizza. There was math and reading all through the week, was gearing up for this one event. And just those types of things, I was very amazed. So those are the 3 things I think school, if it was a person, that's who you'd be.
That's great. Thanks, David. Michael?
This one I did, I know we want to sort of have it off the cuff, but I did write 3 words down. I wrote compassionate, passionate, and fun. I think David sort of covered the compassionate, passionate side. I jotted down some definitions here. I guess compassionate, genuine concern for others. And I think there's definitely that sense of everyone's very real and genuine, and that ties into passionate. There's that strong belief, that enthusiasm that everyone truly cares about the kids and their role in the school. And fun. I remember that, I guess, sort of pre-COVID, touring through the school, and you sort of try and put yourself in the mindset and looking at the school through the eyes of at the time Chase was 2. He was very little, and just such a fun environment. I mean, you look in all the classrooms um, and even just the hallways and where their hooks are, where they hang their bags, and the gymnasium. It's a whole, and it's a wonderful space and a very fun environment, and but it's created by people that are there. So
Thank you. Thanks, Michael. And Robin?
I would agree with all those, but I would also add, I thought friendly, dedicated, and responsible were 3 words that came to mind for me. I thought, and I think the staff and admin are some of the friendliest people I've ever met. Every time you walk into the school, there's big smiles, everyone's welcoming you. All of the teachers are willing to talk to you at the end of the day. I've had pretty much every teacher at Children's Garden, and I can say they're all amazing. And dedicated. The staff is so dedicated, and same with you, Pauline. Everyone is just cares for the kids, is so interested in their well-being and their development, and responsible. I felt, as you know, Pauline, I was hesitant to leave my children for the first time, but you just made it so warm and welcoming, and I always felt like they were in good hands. After that first day where it was hard, I never hesitated to leave them again. I knew that you guys would take care of them.
Thank you. Thanks, Robin. So if you had one thing you would want to change about Children's Garden for the better, what one thing would you change about Children's Garden for the better if you had to choose something? I'll start with Michael.
It's always the tough question you get, say, in an interview process.
It's a good one, though. It's a good one.
And it's really hard to find one, but I guess one thing, if I had to pick one thing, if you will, I guess more frequent progress reports. So I think we get what is it, 2 or 3? I think that's beneficial, and maybe just more frequent progress reports would be the one thing if I were to nitpick. Just they're always sort of questioning how your kids are doing, and just you want to make sure that they're making progression, if you will.
Okay. And I make a note. Okay. Robin?
I'd say there's not a lot that I would change about the school, but if I could pick one thing, it would probably be the outdoor space, just to have a bigger playground. But I will say that since you guys have changed the garden and made it more of a playground for the kids, that, I mean, my older son didn't experience it, but my younger son did, and he loved it. So I think that's been already a great change, but that would probably be the only thing, maybe a play structure.
Yes. I'm with you on that one.
I know your space is limited, but I mean, that would be maybe the only thing I would say that I would change. Okay,
great. And Dave?
Very supportive of a new play structure or something. We've already talked about that, Ms. Pauline. We had such a great experience in JK, and we're committed beyond JK, and we know that that's a somewhat new thing that in the grades, like the older grades, and so we just keep developing that. And just because you're going to have interest because of how great your program is, and you're gonna, it's a luxury problem to have, which is demand. How do you keep up for demand for all the grades and all the just the interest in the school? And so that's what we'd like to see in the next few years. Yeah.
All right, great, thank you. And so what would families find most surprising about the school? I'll start with you, Robin.
Most surprising. Well, I guess, to be honest, I was most surprised at at the education, how good it really is, and how you guys do a really great job of blending the education with fun. I feel like the kids really enjoyed learning. And to be honest, that was very surprising for me. Both my kids were reading in kindergarten and writing and doing math. And I found that I knew that you guys had a great education program, but I was so surprised at how good it is and how fun it was for them and how much they enjoyed learning. Both my kids love to learn. And I mean, I owe that to Children's Garden 100%. You guys, that was very surprising at how well they were able to come out of kindergarten and be so ready for grade 1.
Thank you. And David, anything that you found most surprising?
The value of the small class sizes and the intimacy of the school. You just see how tailor-made the educational approach can be for the kids for having those small class sizes. I think it's a huge competitive advantage for the students going forward. It just helps them grow quicker. And I can't really say enough. It made a huge difference, obviously, when we were learning from home, because, you know, in Clayton's class, you had 2 other kids, and it's a Zoom meeting, or for 3 4-year-olds is a lot better than a Zoom class with 25 4-year-olds. It can't even compare. So the value of the smaller class size is so important and so key, and I mean, I'm really blown away by that.
And Michael?
I guess I'd have to say the level of passion that there is. I mean, you know, that I guess pre-COVID that we felt very confident that Chase was in the perfect fit, the perfect environment, and was having a great experience. But I guess throughout COVID, getting to be that fly on the wall during his Zoom meetings, and you really come to appreciate like how much work is really put in to just putting a little video for the kids, whether it was Miss Emily doing her the music or drama, and just I guess the level of just the rate of how much was coming at the kids. I guess going back to what Robin was saying about the quality of the education, and just the level of passion and the consistency. I mean, day in, day out, I never saw many, or if any, frowns on any teachers' faces. It was always very, very fun, and that's not an easy thing to create, and especially online. And I think that you have to be very passionate, and I think that passion really shined through. And it was neat to be able to see that and be that fly on the wall.
Thank you. And so, what advice would you give to students just entering the school? I mean, that would be hard because we've got little preschool and kindergarten children, but maybe grade 1 children. I don't know. I don't know if this is a question that can be answered at this level. You want to try, Michael?
I think just be have an open mind, be ready for a great ride. I mean, I think that it is a sort of a tough question to sort of put yourself in that mindset, but I think hang on. It's going to be fun. It's the best way to put it.
Robin, what about you? Like, if a child was entering grade 1 here, what
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I think it's natural to be shy and a bit nervous coming to a new school, but I would definitely say not to worry, because the teachers are fantastic. It's a very warm and welcoming environment. So I think there's absolutely nothing to worry about. You'll make a ton of new friends, and you're going to have the best years of your life so far. I think it's amazing. It's fun, and yeah, and just enjoy it. It goes by quickly.
And David, if Clayton had a little time to come?
Yeah, well, what was exactly said, just relax. This is going to be so fun and so warm, and the people there are so nice, and you're going to learn lots of interesting things. and you're going to just look forward to go to school every day.
Good advice, very good advice. And why did you choose Children's Garden originally? And in what ways is the school what you expected, and in what ways is it not? We'll go with Robin.
I chose the school initially. I really like the small class sizes. That was really, really important to me. And that obviously exceeded my expectations. The small class sizes was wonderful. I really liked how it was a very small school, sort of an extension of home. And so it was, for me, the first time my kids really left home, and I wanted to find a very warm and nurturing environment. I had met the teachers, and they were all so lovely, and that and that was something that I really enjoyed. And one thing, and again, I've mentioned it, but I did really like when I talked to you, Pauline, initially, the blend of a good education while also having fun. I think some schools are very just play-based or just academic, and I found Children's Garden really did a good job of blending that, and that was really important to me. I think the kids are sponges at that age, and they, and I can attest to it, that my son, who's going into grade 3, I don't think he'd be where he is today without Children's Garden. He does very well academically, and most importantly, he loves learning. And I think that was all you guys. So that's why I chose it, and I'm happy I did.
Michael?
For us, we with Chase being, I guess, born in the latter half of the year, he was born Christmas Day, and so we call it Chasemas around our house. And it goes by quick. It was important for us to have him in a smaller environment, which is why we didn't want to put him in, I guess, in the public system at that point. And just they are able to. I think that at the end of the year, their little brains are full of. They are sponges, and they're full of so much. Just the development over the course of the school year is quite amazing, and I think that for us, that having that warm, loving environment was it's something that you just sort of you it's hard to put into words. You just sort of you have that feeling, and if you don't have that feeling, you don't. But I haven't met anybody from Children's Garden who didn't have that feeling. So just you trust your gut, and we glad we did.
And so in what ways is the school what you expected, and in what ways is it not? Is there anything there that you could answer that question?
I guess it met it exceeded our expectations. I think that again, with I think with having French immersion specifically is something that a lot of schools I don't believe would do offer, and so that is a big point of difference. That and with Northleigh, with our feeder school, it does offer French, and so our older son, he is in French, and so because of that, I guess it, we expected it, we knew, but I guess now didn't realize how much better set Chase is going into the public system, having that French immersion piece, and so didn't really realize how valuable that would be, and so we're confident that he'll do well in French come this September.
Great. And David?
Yeah, so at the time in September and August and in the summer when we were looking at schools or looking for an alternative, we were looking for a smaller school because we were a little concerned about what was going on with COVID, but we were also, as stated, Clayton's on the younger end for the year, and so thought that for him at the time, a half-day JK would be a good transition into school. He hadn't been in nursery school before. We had a nanny, so as parents, we were we wanted to make sure that transition into school was smooth. What we didn't expect with the school, one of the things that we took away that I was just blown away by was the academics is there, and very important, and it was amazing to see that growth. Your child goes from not being able to pick up a pen and write, to being able to write sentences, to read and math all very quickly in JK. It was amazing, but it was all the other things as well. The drama, when they were in class, the drama, everything else, these extracurriculars that really, you wouldn't think you're a small school, but you're punching way above your weight in those areas. And I think it's incredible to see and watch. And the value to that to our son has been incredible.
Great, thank you. And so, what is the biggest impact Children's Garden has had on your child? I'm trying to put everybody so different, but I think I'll just go back to Robin. I was surprised by his
Well, I mean, I've had 2 boys who have gone through Children's Garden, and the biggest impact, well, I think the fact that they both love to learn, that has been huge for them. And I think I'll have to say the specialty programs really impacted. So my older son, Gavin, is more into the arts, and my younger son, Miles, is more into sports. And we found that just having him exposed to all of the drama and the music and the art was wonderful for him. He doing the plays at the end of the year, we actually came to realize that he is a good little actor, and he's now with an acting agency. And I don't think we would ever have realized that if we didn't see him perform in the Children's Garden plays. And so that has been a big deal for him. And I think also Miles, my younger son, he's a little bit more on the shy side. And I think Children's Garden has really helped him sort of come out of his shell. He's a lot more comfortable talking in front of his class now. And he's made some great friends this past year. So I think that he's more than ready to go into grade 1. And he's not a little, shy child anymore. He's outgoing, and he's really sort of blossomed throughout his past few years at Children's Garden.
And Michael?
I would definitely sort of echo Robin's statement in terms of with Chase. It was really him coming out of his shell, and it's different for every kid in terms of when so they sort of connect certain dots, and it was, I would say, with this past year in junior kindergarten, it was probably in I guess right around Thanksgiving that and again, this was in a different COVID world and masks and the whole bit, and so but and then once they're out of that shell, that it's amazing how fast they kind of go. And which is I mean, if you'd asked us a year ago, would Chase have been ready to be fed to the wolves of a bigger school, we would have said no. But this past year, he's ready for the wolves, and his older brother is there, and that's eventually where he's ending up, and so we're very comfortable feeding him to those wolves, and it wouldn't be for Children's Garden, we wouldn't be at that point.
David?
We were just so impressed about the impact that the school's had on Clayton from September through. He really came a long way. He hadn't been in a school environment before. And, yes, on the fundamentals, as I said, like writing, arithmetic, that stuff was there, but really the socialization and how to, express himself, and just understanding, you're one of a couple others, how to deal with people, deal with problems and that kind of stuff. And so I think, as Michael said, I think around Thanksgiving, it really started to blossom. I was a couple months in, and then it just continued right through. So very, 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 very grateful that we chose the school for and saw that development.
And what does your child have to say about Children's Garden? Robin?
Well, I did ask them. Both my boys said they loved Children's Garden. They have both made great connections with their teachers. All of the staff there are incredible, and they said that was a big part of them enjoying the school. They said everyone is very friendly. That was something they both said. My older son really liked he did the French immersion. He really, really liked that. And my younger son talked about how much he loved all of the specialty programs. He actually said he enjoyed the work. So there you go. That was his words. So the work is fun. And yeah, they both said that it was the best school they've been to.
Thank you. And Michael?
I guess it's sort of an ongoing question, you could say. I mean, because whether we're walking or driving by the school, Chase, he's always excited. He's like, yay, my school, yay, my school. And I think that sort of says it all. Like it's his happy place. And sorry, my phone is ringing, inconvenient. But yeah, no, I'd say that his face lights up whenever we just simply walk by or go by the school. And that says everything.
Sorry.
Sorry.
That's okay. And David, what about Clayton? What does he have to say about the school?
Oh, he'd march into school every day, wouldn't look back, much to mom and dad's dismay. Like, he loves it. He loves going to school. He would go today. It's the middle of July or going into July. He just thinks the world of it. It is his happy place, as Michael said. So, what a great way to start your education process. Like, you're going through school, through life, and as you get older, sometimes going to school there's challenges and nervous and anxiety. So thanks that this starting point is so great and so warm. Yeah.
Thank you. And how would you describe the values of Children's Garden and the values of the families in the school community? Robin?
I would say some of the values would be friendliness and respectful and committed. I think that within the school community, everyone, pre-COVID, we would, all the parents would gather and talk when we were picking up our children. You'd basically have to kick us out at the end of the day. Like, everyone is so friendly and so committed. All of the parents were wonderful and helped put on a lot of the different events at the school. And so I think that was great. The teachers and administration are 100% committed. And yeah, I would say respectful as well. Everyone's respectful of each other. And yeah, that's probably how I would describe the values.
And Michael?
Yeah, I would say that everybody wants the same thing. I mean, everyone wants that happy, safe environment for their kids, and it sort of just that friendly, whether you really know the other parents, but just sort of that friendly nod or that. And it's hard, I guess, that's sort of thinking, I guess, to really get to know the other parents in the COVID, during the COVID times. And, but just simple gestures, and just whether you're saying hello to somebody's kid or another parent greeting your child, it's just a very warm, respectful place day in, day out, and somewhere that myself, I could be a chatty Cathy on many days, and it's just it's an easy place just to be yourself, and it's a warm, happy place that a great way to sort of start your day and end your work day, if you will.
David?
I echo those comments. I think the values of being warm and nurturing for the parents and the school. There's this focus on creating bright and engaging classrooms, I think, that we've heard. And there's this idea to help each child grow. And I think all of that comes together both within the school and in the larger community that is the school.
Thank you. Well, I think that's the end of the questions that I have for you. And I did a little research before, like a moderator, because I've never moderated before, and apparently I wasn't supposed to give any opinions, etc. But now that we've finished, I just want to say I really appreciate your time, your thoughtful, lovely responses. And I must say that the feeling's definitely mutual. I think our school's done a great job in attracting warm, loving, supportive families like yourselves. Michael, I was thinking, you know, this past winter, you clearing off the snow for all the staff when the snowstorm came. I think it's little things like that that are definitely, it's, you know, definitely is a school family. And so your children are all amazing, and it's been such a pleasure to have them here. And David, the fact that Clayton came in and you haven't experienced pre-COVID at Children's Garden and you're feeling this positive, I am so excited of getting back into a regular year where we have our concerts, all the family events. So I'm very excited for what you're going to experience in the future, which I'm very positive about. And also Robin, again, your boys, and I hope that at some point you might come back, who knows?
Hopefully.
Goodbye. But again, I do appreciate your time today. And I think your responses will definitely give families an idea if this is a school that they would want their child and their family to be part of. So again, thank you so much. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day while your children are in camp. And I'll be talking to you soon then.